Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Can someone tell me whether my voice is clear? And is this screen clearly visible to all of you? आवाज आ रही सही से सबको? So we'll be doing the current affairs of 31st January 24. ठीक है? And we'll take up the MPC news in the evening session. ठीक है? Recently, as all of you know, the February MPC meeting has just been held, where the RBI governor kept the rate unchanged, still at 6.5%, almost at the 6th time now. है ना? So we'll discuss this, whatever he has said in this meeting. But for right now, let's move on with our current affairs session. So the first news is also an important news. It's the IMF World Economic Outlook report, which talks about not only global outlook, but also we'll specifically talk about the Indian outlook also. Outlook में ये लोग जितने भी macroeconomic parameters होते हैं, they tell, by considering all the global macroeconomic environment, they tell how the world's gonna be in terms of economic performance and how's the Indian economy will be in terms of economic performance. ठीक है? So recently, from the previous outlook, IMF has projected global growth at 3.1%. तो previously इनका 2.9% था, but they have increased it by 0.2% to 3.1% now. So in financial year 24-25, they are thinking that the global growth of economy will be 3.1%, and it's a positive sign. Because until unless the global growth is there, our Indian exports also cannot grow. So in order for our exports, be it in our service exports also, it is essential that the global economy grows. Next is IMF expects the global headline inflation rate to decrease to 5.8% in 24, 4.4% in 25. So as you can see, the inflationary trends that were present in the economy since past 2 years, especially on account of supply chain disruptions due to COVID, then Russia-Ukraine conflict, and then the conflict in Middle East. Okay, because of all those things, there were huge supply chain disruptions and that led to increased inflationary pressures in commodity prices. Okay. But right now, the inflation has peaked and it is now in declining trend, as also is evident from the forecast of IMF also, which thinks that in 24 it will be somewhere around 5.8%, which is still under RBI's mandate. Okay? What is RBI's mandate with respect to inflation, everyone? And in 25 it's gonna be 4.4%. So RBI's mandate is 2 to 4%, or 2 to 6%, or you can say 4 plus minus 2%. It's 2 to 6%, not 4 to 6%. ठीक है? क्योंकि 4 minus 2 to 4 plus 2. It also increased India outlook. Okay? It says that India will continue to grow at 6.7%. Okay, in financial year 24. And 6.5% in financial year 25. Okay, earlier projection was 6.3%. And these are other agencies. तो इनकी तो list बना के we'll give you just before the examination. ठीक है. Next news is about corruption perception index. It is also one of the most important indices. ठीक है. Phase 1 में इनका question it comes very easily. ठीक है. They can ask you the agency, they can ask you the India's rank, they can ask you who is the top. Okay. So corruption perception index tells, as the name suggests, how much the country, at least in terms of perception, is corrupt. ठीक है. So it is ranking India at 93 out of 180 countries. The index is released by Transparency International. Okay. Denmark has topped the index, whereas Somalia is at the bottom. And India has ironically tied with Maldives. ठीक है. And it's also a very annual index that maps the countries in terms of corruption. Next is survey on increasing women participation in the workforce. So as all of you know, that in PLFS survey, we've seen that female labor force participation rate in India is starkly very low. So do you guys remember how much there is the female labor force participation rate in India? Can you roughly tell me what is the percentage of that? How many of you know about this? Yes, very good. It's close to 37%. ठीक है, which is almost half of what the male labor force participation rate is, which is 70 to 80% in between. So EPFO is thinking about, or I wanted to identify what are the various factors on account of which the female labor force participation rate is very low. So that's why this EPFO is launching this survey, which wants to identify what can be the reasons because of which the labor force participation is low. Okay? And by addressing those things, we can increase women participation in the workforce. तो इन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, जितने भी employees हैं that have subscribed to EPFO, pensions, आपका fund जाता है ना PF में, तो all those employees will be receiving a questionnaire where the EPFO will be asking about them कि आपके यहाँ पे ये facilities हैं कि नहीं है. ठीक है, आपके उसमें ये आपको वहाँ पे posh का environment है, posh के facilities हैं, all those things. A huge specific questionnaire will be there. Are you guys facing any problem? All those things. ठीक है, तो उससे जब data collect होकर आएगा, then we'll read again this report, because that will provide us the most evident reality that is there in the country. ठीक है. Next is Tamil Nadu tops in enrollment ratio for higher education. ठीक है. So just now we've seen gross enrollment ratio released by ASO survey. ठीक है. And this specifically in higher education. ठीक है, तो at least in terms of ranking of states, Tamil Nadu is at the top, and the percentage of gross enrollment ratio of Tamil Nadu is higher than the national average. So we look at the national average also, so that you can utilize that national average to identify that higher education gross enrollment, it's still very low. Just look at this data. That all India average gross enrollment ratio is only 28.4% in 21-22. It was 47% for Tamil Nadu. ठीक है. Whereas in other states, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Kerala, Telangana, they are still above the national average. And bottom states are Assam and Bihar. Only 16.9 and 17.1. ठीक है. So just remember the national average, क्योंकि मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि आप ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए केवल मत याद रखो, इन सबको आप डिस्क्रिप्टिव के लिए भी याद रखो, बिकॉज एजुकेशन एनीवेज इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक इन ESI, और सिंस इट्स अ वेरी गवर्नमेंटल सर्वे, it will inevitably help you explain the issues in higher education in India. ठीक है? So it will work both ways. Next is the Global 500 list, the report released by Bloomberg, and it is said that 8 new Indian companies entered into this list. It's not like only 8 companies are there. There are various companies, but 8 new companies have entered this list, named L&T, HCL Tech, Titan, Sun Pharma, Axis Bank, ONGC, NTPC and Maruti Suzuki. ठीक है? And top 5 companies are Reliance, TCS, HDFC, ICICI and Infosys. The top companies in terms of market cap also. ठीक है? So the total number of companies have gone up to 21 from 14 in the global 500 list. ठीक है? Let's move on to the next. So at over 90,000 patents filing has been done in 2 decades. ठीक है? Average number of patents per day is 247, highest in last 2 decades. The patent filing surged by 70% to 90,000 in 2023. This is the report by SBI Research and Indian Patent Office. ठीक है? The pendency has been reduced by 15 months to 53 months. According to the report, education institutes doubled their share in innovations to 31%. So just now we have seen a news with respect to patents in the previous session. So do you guys remember what was the news about? That news talked about the number of patents filed in between April to December. कितना patents था? यहाँ पे 90,000 है. In this time period, how many patents that were approved and filed? Yes, correct. 70,000. ठीक है, तो ये सब चीजें याद रखो. ये annual data है, 23 का data है, and by SBI. So if you want to utilize annual data, you can utilize this. But if you want to use government data with respect to patents or innovation, you can use this data also. ठीक है? So that's your call. But at least remember, for SBI Research, since it's a bank and Indian Patent Office that is releasing, so both of these things are important, especially for the GA we are speaking. Then we have national and state news. So India has recently conducted snow leopard survey, in which it has been estimated that there are 718 snow leopards in the wild. ठीक है? So this is the first of its kind 4-year long estimation exercise. तो इसमें पता चला कि that Ladakh has the highest amount of snow leopard, followed by Uttarakhand, Himachal, Arunachal and Sikkim. So at least you get an idea that this is an animal that prefers mountainous ecosystem, especially the cold mountainous ecosystem. So it accounts for 10% and 15% of the global population of snow leopards. The IUCN status, vulnerable. Next is India nominates 12 forts of Marathas for UNESCO World Heritage List. तो अभी nominate किया, but whenever it will be approved or whenever they will be selected as UNESCO's World Heritage Site, so it will become much more important. But at least have an idea that these forts are nominated by Indian government for, UNESCO World Heritage List for 24-25. Next is Domino joins ONDC to expand customer base. Then Bihar Biofuels Production Promotion Policy 23. So recently Bihar government also aims to incentivize production within their state by providing capital incentive. That means 15% of the plant and machinery cost will be taken care by the Bihar government. Next we have drive to digitize agriculture banks will be started. So this is started by Ministry of Cooperation. Okay? So they have started a drive with 225 crore project where 1000 agriculture and rural development banks, they will be digitalized. And once they get digitalized, the customer base and the services that they can provide, they'll also be digitalized. Okay, and when most of the things get digitalized, the optimization and the efficiency also comes in the banking sector. Okay, so this will inevitably help us in financial inclusion. ठीक है, तो इस तरीके के एग्जाम्पल्स आप लोग यूटिलाइज करें whenever you're talking about financial inclusion. ठीक है, financial inclusion anyways is a very huge topic and most important topic in your descriptive or even objective paper. Descriptive में ऐसे examples आपको बहुत help करेंगे that you know about an initiative of 225 crores about digitalization of agriculture and rural development banks. Is this clear? ठीक है, the cooperation ministry has identified 1851 agriculture banks in 13 states for the project. और ये especially if you're focusing upon NABARD exam, तो वहाँ पर ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती हैं इवन बैंकिंग सेक्टर के लिए, because these are related to banks, so Reserve Bank of India anyways plays a role. Then we have Nature and Bird Festival. This is organized by Government of Uttar Pradesh. Let's move on to the next, Science and Tech. So this Neuralink project, another startup of Elon Musk. So the first patient has received the Neuralink chip within its brain. ठीक है, और उनका पहला गोल क्या है कि through your thoughts you can control the cursor. ठीक है, if this is possible, then this will be the success, at least for the starting point of for Neuralink. ठीक है, तो Elon Musk का स्टार्टअप है, आपके दिमाग में चिप डालेंगे जिससे आप कंप्यूटर्स को कंट्रोल कर पाओगे जस्ट बाय योर थॉट्स ओनली. एंड दिस इज एक्सेस, तो चलो एक बेनिफिट है, बट द मेन रीजन बिहाइंड दिस न्यूरालिंक प्रोजेक्ट वाज दैट देयर आर वेरियस diseases that were related to brain which can be solved by Neuralink. So that's what the initial purpose was, but it has also additional benefits, for example controlling computers by your thoughts, so that comes in as an extra added benefit. Next is NGC 628. It has been identified as a new spiral galaxy that is 32 million light years away from Earth. ठीक है, and this was observed via James Webb telescope. तो spiral galaxies हैं. What is the galaxy within which our solar system is there? अपनी galaxy का नाम क्या है? I hope everyone knows. Milky Way galaxy. Can you tell whether our Milky Way galaxy is spiral or elliptical or other? अगर आप गैलेक्सी देखोगे, यूजुअली गैलेक्सी होती क्या है? योर प्लैनेट इज इन द सोलर सिस्टम. देयर आर वेरियस टाइप ऑफ सोलर सिस्टम इन द गैलेक्सी. देयर आर वेरियस टाइप ऑफ गैलेक्सीज इन द यूनिवर्स ऑल्सो. And it is also said that there are various universe in the multiverse. ठीक है, तो अगर आप गैलेक्सी की फोटो देखोगे तो this will be like such type of galaxy has been identified. है ना, इसमें अर्थ दिख रहा है आपको, या अर्थ तो दिखेगा नहीं क्योंकि स्केल ही नहीं है ऐसा. But as you can see, this is the Milky Way galaxy. It's also a spiral galaxy. And if you want to see where our sun is, तो यहाँ पर है कहीं, ये देखो. So this is our sun. तो ये सब चीजें देख के लगता है कि how much small, how much big the universe is. And all those things. ठीक है, but this I just wanted to all of you to see this, get a perspective. So such type of similar spiral galaxy has been identified, the name being NGC 628. Next is MOU business agreements. So TCS extends contract with UK firm Aviva for 15 years. Okay, it's a UK's insurance company. Next is NGEL Maharashtra to set up green projects. Okay, so this NTPC Green Energy Limited has signed an agreement with Maharashtra government for setting up of green hydrogen as well as green ammonia projects. Then we have Bajaj Finserv Health. It has acquired Vidal Healthcare for 325 CR. So TVS Industrial Logistical Parks have signed an MOU with Goa Investment Promotion Board, okay, for investment in warehousing infrastructure over there. Then we have Glenmark as well as ICNOS company. They have joined for cancer drug discovery. Then we have MK Agrotech, M11 Industries. They will be launching oil palm plantation in Odisha. It is an agreement that has been signed under National Mission for Edible Oils. Okay? So this is also an example that you can quote, especially with the objective that the government set for itself in context of oil seeds, and the finance minister talked about it in the budget also. So do you guys remember oil seeds ke regarding, was there anything that the finance minister talked about in the budget? For reducing import dependence, yes, they basically food security in terms of oil seeds and reducing import dependence, because oil seeds, especially in context of agricultural commodities, is the most imported commodity, at least by terms of value. ठीक है, तो आप ऐसे एग्जांपल्स आप लोग कोट कर सकते हो कि recently these industries have signed an agreement in under National Mission on Edible Oil. Then we have NTPC and NRL, which is Numaligarh Refinery Limited. It is also located in Assam. Okay? So these two companies have signed a non-binding agreement to explore partnership for green chemical projects. Then we have awards. The Earth Care Awards have been launched in India, which is a joint initiative of Jindal Steel Works as well as Times of India. Okay, and as the name suggests, it is sustainability and environment related awards. Okay. Next is girl from Uri creates history in Republic Day parade. She led a NCC, PM rally in this year's PM, Republic Day parade. ये PM वाली 26th को नहीं होती, 27 या 28 को होती है, ठीक है? In which the Prime Minister addresses the whole rally. And please remember this name, and this will inevitably will be important for your GA. ठीक है? So the NCC cadet name Ulfat Khan from Uri. She is the first ever female cadet selected as parade commander at the NCC PM rally. Okay? So this is all for today. If you guys have any question, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll wind up this session. And make sure to come in the 3:30 session, which we will be discussing about today's Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Okay? It's an important thing, especially if you're focusing on Reserve Bank of India's examination. कोई डाउट नहीं है। चलो, थैंक यू गाइस फॉर ज्वाइनिंग, विल मीट इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन। ठीक है, थैंक यू।